White House release published Friday, August 15, 2025. Trump effect. A running list of new U.S. investment in President Trump's second term. Since President Trump began his second term, major companies have announced trillions of dollars in new U.S. investments. Apple will invest $600 billion in manufacturing and workforce training. Project Stargate, led by SoftBank, OpenAI, and Oracle, announced a $500 billion investment in artificial intelligence infrastructure. NVIDIA will invest $500 billion in U.S.-based AI infrastructure. Micron Technology will invest $200 billion in advanced memory chip production. IBM announced a $150 billion investment in growth in manufacturing. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company will invest $100 billion in U.S. chip manufacturing. Johnson & Johnson will invest $55 billion in manufacturing and research. AstraZeneca and Roche each announced $50 billion investments in medicine manufacturing and research. Bristol-Myers Squibb will invest $40 billion over 5 years. Amazon announced $34 billion for cloud computing infrastructure and data centers. Eli Lilly will invest $27 billion to expand domestic manufacturing. ADQ and Energy Capital Partners will invest $25 billion in data centers and energy infrastructure. Google and Blackstone each announced $25 billion investments. Novartis will invest $23 billion to build or expand 10 U.S. facilities, creating 4,000 jobs. Hyundai announced a $21 billion investment, including a new steel plant in Louisiana. John Deere plans to invest $20 billion over the next decade. Damac Properties and CMACGM each announced $20 billion investments in data centers and shipping logistics. Sanofi will invest at least $20 billion over 5 years. Venture Global LNG announced an $18 billion investment at its Louisiana facility. Global Foundries will invest $16 billion to boost chip production. First Energy Corp announced a $15 billion investment in infrastructure enhancements. Gilead Sciences will add $11 billion to its planned manufacturing investment. ABBVie will invest $10 billion over 10 years to expand drug production capacity. Merck will invest a total of $9 billion in new facilities, including a new plant in Delaware. PPL will invest $6.8 billion to expand grid capacity. CoreWeave will invest $6 billion in data center expansion. Westinghouse announced a $6 billion investment to build 10 nuclear reactors. Pratt Industries will invest $5 billion to create 5,000 jobs. Global Wafers will invest $4 billion in silicon wafer production. Thermo Fisher Scientific will invest an additional $2 billion over 4 years. Clarios announced a $6 billion plan to expand domestic manufacturing. Stellantis will invest $5 billion, including reopening its Belvidere plant. Belgium-based UCB will invest $5 billion in a new factory. Ford will invest $5 billion across Kentucky and Michigan plants for new vehicles and batteries. General Motors will invest $4 billion as it shifts more vehicle production from Mexico to the U.S. Mitsubishi announced a $3.9 billion investment in energy. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals agreed to a $3 billion partnership for drug production in North Carolina. Kraft Heinz will invest $3 billion to upgrade its factories. GE Appliances will invest $3 billion to expand its plants. Northmark Strategies will invest $2.8 billion to build a supercomputing facility in South Carolina. Biogen announced a $2 billion investment in North Carolina-based manufacturing. Mars Incorporated will invest $2 billion in U.S.-based manufacturing. Kimberly-Clark announced a $2 billion investment to expand manufacturing, including a new facility in Ohio. Chobani will invest $1.7 billion for expansion, creating over 1,000 jobs. Corning is expanding its Michigan facility with a $1.5 billion investment. Carrier will invest an additional $1 billion, creating 4,000 jobs. GE Aerospace announced a $1 billion investment across 16 states, creating 5,000 jobs. Hikma Pharmaceuticals, Anduril Industries, Live Nation Entertainment, and Williams International each announced $1 billion investments. Amgen announced a $900 million investment in Ohio manufacturing. Merck Animal Health will invest $895 million in Kansas operations. General Motors announced an $888 million investment at its New York propulsion plant. Schneider Electric will invest $700 million in energy infrastructure over 4 years. GE Vernova will invest nearly $600 million, creating over 1,500 jobs. Abbott Laboratories announced a $500 million investment in Illinois and Texas facilities. AIP Management, Jabil, and Wistron Corporation each announced investments of several $100 million in manufacturing and data centers. Diageo, Lego, the Bell Group, Eaton Corporation, Anheuser-Busch, Siemens Class & Quality Chocolate, Fiserv, Paris Baguette, Philips, Siemens Healthineers, JBS USA, TS Conductor, ABB, Sika Group, Hotpack, Charms LLC, Toyota Motor Corporation, Kingston, Rolls-Royce, Hanwha Ocean, Hitachi Energy, Century Aluminum, Silver Hills Bakery, AeroVironment, and VIDARR all announced new investments. International partners also pledged major investments. The United Arab Emirates committed to investing $1.4 trillion over the next decade. Qatar pledged $1.2 trillion in economic exchange with the United States. Japan announced a $1 trillion investment. Saudi Arabia committed $600 billion over 4 years. South Korea will invest $450 billion in U.S. energy products. Bahrain and Taiwan also pledge new investments. Thanks for listening. The full source material for this summary is in the description below.